Frank, what did you try to reestablish defensively in that second half, and how key was AD, especially down the stretch on the glass?
Yeah, AD had some great sequences of just boarding and traffic. You know, I mean, we were getting beat pretty heavily on the glass, and he really battled a big, strong dude in Nurkic that was hurting us, and came down with some dirty rebounds to help secure the victory. You know, I thought our defensive disposition was better to start the game. Obviously, we had the tough second quarter. You know, we tried to just switch the matchup a little bit in terms of eating some of Nurkic's minutes with Dwight to start the quarter, start the second half. I thought there was some defensive benefits there, but we obviously struggled to score, which has been, you know, the story of our season when we try to play big. But overall, I was proud of how our guys competed and pulled out the W.
Frank, I know you've been effusive in your praise of Carmelo Anthony when we've talked to you about him this year. But just tonight, the shot-making ability, Anthony was also talking to us about how much he talks. I guess that aspect of his game, how valuable is that?
And his IQ, you know, he beat me to the punch because I was gonna hit him on his performance tonight, because it's, you know, like LeBron gets a lot of credit for what he's doing in year 19, and I don't think people are talking enough about what Carmelo's doing in year 19. It really is remarkable. He was terrific tonight, like AD said. And, you know, obviously he was scoring the basketball, but, you know, we had some coverages we were trying to work out down the stretch in the fourth, and defensively he was right on top of all that stuff, communicating it, you know, just talking some of our guys through where they need to be, and, you know, the IQ and the leadership and the desire, you know, to win, you know, the competitive spirit was just great. But his shot making is, you know, it's fun to watch, and you know, he's a big part of the win tonight.
Yeah, Frank, I have two questions for you. They're unrelated, if that's okay. AD, first of all, you know, in your experience coaching him the last 3 years, obviously he's coming back from an injury, but how much have you noticed when he has fourth quarters like he had today is sort of about him mentally kind of pushing himself to that place?
Oh, it was all mental tonight, because he didn't have the legs. He had a couple possessions where I didn't know if he was going to get over half court, and a couple of possessions where he was, you know, late to rotations, like we saw down the stretch in Atlanta. And, you know, I'm worried about him, you know, just playing all four quarters and having his legs under him, and they're not there yet. You know, so tonight was definitely about mental toughness, you know, and in the face of fatigue, you know, finding a way to find that energy, find that focus, and make enough plays and make enough shots. You know, quite frankly, you know, legs, you know, to still make tough shots is tough to do. So hell of a game by Anthony.
And then, you know, AD mentioned at the end of the third quarter being frustrated by, you know, you guys letting another buzzer beater go. And I know the end of the second and third quarter were different situations, but how do you feel like the team is managing some of those end of clock situations or end of quarter situations when you're trying to, you know, finish with your basket instead of theirs? Yeah,
we've been pretty good at it. I mean, obviously the second quarter was bizarre, but you know, they got a buck. I got to look at the tape and see exactly how they scored at the buzzer in the third quarter. But we want to finish quarters out obviously better than we did tonight.
Frank, I also have two questions for you. Firstly, unforced errors have been a thing for this team kind of all season. Is that a focus thing? Like, there was a free throw in the third quarter that I think Dwight and Russ both went to. Portland keeps the ball. I think, what were the turnover numbers tonight? 17 or something like that. Is that a focus thing, or is this just going to be a group that has to play through those
Yeah, I mean, we need every possession we can get, so we got to minimize those the best we can.
And then, secondly, this group hasn't always handled. It's gotten out to hot starts before, and then, you know, Portland has a big quarter, and then I don't know if it's been discouraging or something like that. The team hasn't fought through those moments always this year. What do you think enabled this group to kind of weather that tonight? And how quickly did you kind of notice that this is going to be okay on that side of the ball, at least? Yeah,
I mean, I think starting the way we did in the second half, stabilize our defense. We give it 37 points in the second quarter. So we wanted to make sure that we had, the personnel out there to get some stops, and I think that even though the third quarter was imperfect, we were getting stops, throughout the quarter. And when we get stops, we have confidence that we're going to catch a rhythm offensively. They try to junk the game up, with their coverages on the defensive side. So our guys had to play through some randomness, more randomness than we would normally see. But, I do credit them for, fighting through, that run in the second quarter.
Frank, you mentioned the last couple of days about how you guys the point of emphasis was defensive improvement from the road trip and some of the mistakes you guys had made. Where did you see that tonight in terms of just your execution and kind of what was implemented that you guys had talked about the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think the numbers will look good, but to me, there's still a lot of areas we can be better and we need to be better. But there's always some carryover. Every time we touch the court for some practice time, there's always some carryover into the game, and we saw that tonight.
Coach right over here. The Blazers seemed like dedicated to, if they turned the ball over, they weren't going to let you score off of that. I think you only had 1 point off of their turnovers. Is there a way to turn that against them? Is there a disadvantage to that, to what they were doing?
Yeah, I don't know how many of them were live ball. I'd have to look at the tape. But, obviously if they turn the basketball over, we want to run and make them pay for it.